This is the Pam Sowder Podcast. With over 2 decades of field and corporate experience and voted one of the most influential women in direct selling, Pam helps mesh the daily needs of distributors to everyday life challenges. It's time to get over yourself, fire up your productivity, work less, and live more. Learn the self-limiting hashtag F-bombs holding you back, fear, frustration, and failures, and turn those F-bombs into friendships, fun, and freedom. Ready? Let's get this party started.
I get asked a lot, why do people fail this business? And I've come up with 4 reasons, and I'm sure that there's many, many more, but I believe these are the top reasons why people fail in this industry, in this business. And number 1 is they're not coachable. You know, we all hear that this is a simple business, to keep it simple, that anyone and everyone, no matter what color they are, where they're from, what their education is, how tall, how short, they can do it. Anybody can do it. What you have to be willing to do is keep it simple and learn the system. And here we go with that system again. And what the heck does that mean? And I remember being in the very early stages of the industry and reading a lot of books on network marketing, multi-level marketing, and hearing that word over and over again. Work a system, work a system, work a system. And, you know, we just watched The Founders, which was about the McDonald's brothers and how they franchised McDonald's. Actually, they sold out and didn't franchise it, but they started the system. And that's why they continue to be so successful. I don't care where I travel. It can be in Europe, Australia, Canada, all over the world, and the French fry machine is always on the left as you walk into the door. Pretty much the same setup with the same young people running it. Now we're starting to see senior citizens in there running it, but McDonald's has their system down because they want to duplicate. They want to be able to build McDonald's all over the world. In order to do that, they have to have a system in place, and you do too. When you think about we're in 22 countries, you're going to have people in your organization that are all over the world, and you're going to have to train them, and you might not be able to speak the language. So how are you going to do that? You're going to follow a very simple system. So this is where I run into some problems with people because we're all intelligent. We all feel like we have a better way of doing something. And just watch me. And I've had great people come on board that were not coachable. They did not want to follow the system. They wanted to reinvent everything, which just leads to lots of frustration. It leads to slowing down your business instead of keeping it in the speed mode. And they'll end up quitting most of the time when they were just like could have nailed it had they followed the system, been coachable, listened to the people that had already done it, listen to their upline, listen to the leadership within their organization. So what I suggest that you do is just breathe. Just get really quiet and understand that we have a very simple system in place and that you want to follow that system yourself, and that's all that you teach. And within that system, there's more to teach, such as some finer movements of how to gather that customer, what to say to the potential customer, perhaps what not to say. As far as the distributor, some finer moments of how to contact a distributor, some finer trainings, all that's available. But the system itself is step 1. You want to join the party. Everybody joins the party. They step in, they purchase the business builder kit, they opt in for the optional 80 BV in product or 150 BV in total customer orders. And don't deviate from that. Everybody does that. That's part of step 1. Step 2 is gather 4 loyal customers within your first 30 days. Now, why do we do that? Because it's a part of the system and helps unlock the compensation plan. So the first 2 customers of step 2 teamed up with step 1, that will issue a fast start bonus to the qualifying distributor upline. and it will get the new distributor commission qualified so that they can earn fast start bonuses and further commissions. When people say to me, how do I get somebody new started? Step one, they join the party, they opt in for either purchasing product on their own, getting some customers to purchase. They get that nailed right away. Step two, gather 4 loyal customers within your first 30 days. So right away, you're helping them get in the customer generating mode. That's your job as a sponsor. That's what you coach them on doing. No one has to know anything outside of that. So you're going to help them get those customers, help them talk to those potential customers, because what you don't want is them procrastinating and waiting till they feel like they need to know more. Let's go in go mode right away. And then step 3 is building to that foundational position called Ruby. So the first thing that you want to do within that step 3 part of the system is start gathering those distributors. And when you gather that first distributor, you're going to run them through that system of step 1, step 2, step 3. And anytime you make it more complicated than that, add another step or add steps in between that, you are breaking free of that system, and you're going to have crunch time trying to go down and replace those people, or you're just going to have people all over the place. And if you deviate from it and you start adding things, they're going to deviate from it. They're going to start adding things, and the whole system breaks down. Because you're going to have people not only come into your business through other countries or other cities, other states, you're going to have people also that come in from all walks of life, all types of background. And some, because they're so educated, they feel like they have to change everything. Others are so brand new to the industry, totally educated, but so brand new to the industry, they don't know what the heck, how to start or what to do, which causes confusion, which causes breakdown. And then you've got somebody coming in on, let's say, level 17, 18, that may not have that strong upline. And so you want to be able to reach down to them, teach them the steps to success, which so frees up your time because everybody is doing the same thing. Of course, within each of those steps, there's different layers within that you can coach and teach them along the way. How to set up that auto ship, of course, with step 1, what they're going to get in their kit. Within step 1, how to set up their e-suite. These are additional coaching and training sessions that you'll have with them. But your goal is right away is to keep those 3 steps forefront in their mind, generating throughout their entire organization. Those 3 steps, that's all you should ever talk about. I want you to get so tired of talking about them that you could talk about them in your sleep. That's how important they are, and that will create a massive organization for you. The number 2 reason why people fail, I feel, is that they don't treat this like a business. If you play small, your check is small. If you treat it like a $99 opportunity, which is truly the startup cost, however, the payoff could be in the millions. But we just don't build consistently. That's what I find out with people. It's a small investment for most people. Even for some that they seem like that is such a large investment, they're willing to walk away from it because they don't see the value in it. They don't have the vision in it. So one of the things that I really like to get people truly understanding is that vision of what that $99 could do for them. And the only way that I've known to be able to truly do that, to drive it home, is to get them in front of other people. And this could be at an opportunity meeting. This could be on a Zoom. This could be through stories. This could be your own story, and then getting them to hear the story of somebody that maybe is in a like profession of theirs. Let's say they're a nurse. Get a nurse on the phone with them so that they can have a longer-term vision of what that $99 could do for them. I don't believe any of us that have been in this long-term would still be here today had we not sat down with somebody that had the vision, had gone way beyond their initial vision into that huge dream, living the life that they want. And we either met them one-on-one, we saw them speak on stage at a meeting, or we heard them through a conference call or a Zoom. Some way, shape, or form, somebody else drove that home in us. And that's what we want to do, is we want to create that vision of this is a bigger opportunity than what your investment is. And consistency is truly what builds it. And that is getting up every single day and doing something, some sort of action within your $99 opportunity. And that is whether it's gathering customers or distributors. And that's what we pay you for. We pay you to gather customers and distributors. We don't pay you for anything else. That's it. So you want to stay focused on those two things and continue to build those two things. And, treat it like you would a marriage. If you've got an investment in your marriage, and if you start to slack off of that marriage, if you start to pay less attention to each other, you're going to start to run into problems. And one day you might not be able to give that marriage the attention that you want, but you let it slide again the next day, and then the next day. And before you know it, days and weeks, months have gone by, and you're not even communicating anymore. And that leads down the road to some disastrous marriages. And I've watched that happen. I've watched that unfold, and they don't even know how it began. And it was typically over something really small that took their attention away, but they continued to let that grow. And it becomes a mountain that it seems unsolvable, unclimbable. So we want to pay attention every day to our business and to be consistent. All right, number 3, they're not willing to get uncomfortable. I see so many people watch tons of videos, make file folders, assemble the opportunity plan, laminate it, put it in a special binder, get their calendar ready, instead of doing the actual work. I mean, they're online watching YouTube videos galore. They could recite exactly how to get a customer, exactly how to get a distributor, and what the compensation plan is, but yet they don't have one single person in their business because they're not asking. They're just preparing. I know what this feels like. I was there. I did that for 6 solid months. I was getting ready to be ready, and I wasn't going anywhere. Nothing was happening. It wasn't a good place to be. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way I felt. I felt like a slacker. I felt just like, you're not doing this, Pam. That self-talk that we give, very, very negative self-talk, until I got into full-blown action. And really still, I built my confidence every day. I didn't know exactly what I was doing, but that's fun too. That's great energy. That's more fun than when you feel like you got it down. Like, oops, I shouldn't have said that. Or, wow, I shouldn't have done that. Now let's self-correct. Let's go over here and do this. Let's say this. And, I shouldn't have done that with that person, but I'm okay. They're okay. We're going to be okay. And you just learn along the way. So you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. And uncomfortable means we're growing, evolving. It means that we're learning. And when we're sitting there comfortable, we're bored and we're boring. So we constantly want to be challenging ourselves. I see this with our leadership. The ones that have truly achieved what you're wanting to achieve are constantly doing something different within whether it's themselves personally or within their business. They're going to a new leadership conference. They're learning from somebody else. They're getting mentorship. And that evolves over time. Right now, you've got the support that you need. You've got the people there. They're in place. This team is superior, in my opinion, to any other company that I've seen out there as far as understanding the system, knowing how to work through it, and getting you to feel comfortable being uncomfortable. So go for it. And number 4, you're not hungry. As Les Brown would say, I love Les Brown. If you've never seen his speech, go on YouTube and Google Les Brown, L-E-S Brown, and his segment on hungry. You got to be hungry. You've got to want this as much as anything else in your life as far as an opportunity goes. you've got to really make a decision that you got to get out of my way. I'm going for it. And that's what I did. I just put my head down and focused, but it was such strong, great energy. I absolutely have had the time of my life. And when I back off of that hunger at all, I just don't feel alive. I just don't feel like me. We want to be hungry. We want things in our life. And we just boldly state them, even if it's just to ourselves. We raise our standards on what we want in our life, and we go after it with that hunger, with that desire, with that passion that everybody out there is looking for. And when you've got that, when you nail that, when you put that within your body, people can sense it. It's almost like they can smell you coming from afar. And that's what we're all after. And when that starts to wane, we miss it. So if you're missing that, if you're not hungry anymore, go back again to why the heck am I doing this? What am I after? And if you've reached a lot of your goals, then they're not big enough. Your goals, your dreams, your desires should scare you into that hungry mode to where you want to get up and get moving and go after it. I'll never forget getting a letter from one of my friends, and it was handwritten. It was back in the day, 3 or 4 pages, and she was just pissed off at me because I was out working my business. I mean, I was after it. I'd never had more fun in my life than going after the business. And she missed me. She said, "You're just not around during the day anymore." She used to bring her kids over, or I'd take mine over. But you know what? I didn't miss that. I love her. We're still very close friends to this day. And that letter was probably written to me about 20 years ago. But she just didn't understand. She didn't get why I was so excited, why I was so enthused, and why I wasn't coming around as much. I didn't ignore her, but I had plans. I had dreams. I had aspirations. And I'm so thankful that when I got that letter and I read it and it was hurtful, that I didn't allow it to take me down. I wasn't neglecting anyone. It was just, I was on fire for something new. A lot of people never in life get that opportunity, and there's nothing like it. So get hungry, make that decision that you're going for it, follow through, and make all of those dreams come true simply because you're not willing to give up. You are not willing to give up, and you're not going to be a part of these 4 reasons why people fail, because you are going to be coachable. You're going to treat it like a business. You're going to get comfortable being uncomfortable, and you're hungry as hungry can be. So let's go out there and have some more fun. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Pam Sowder Podcast. Be sure to check out my website at pamsowder.com. There you can get inspired, listen to more podcasts, read and submit Ask Pam questions that could be featured on an upcoming podcast episode. Be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And as always, much love and appreciation.